Hey, everybody, and we are live with Hot Jobs, episode 204 with Tara Soprano. And did you know she's from New Jersey? So be careful. Could you imagine growing up with the Soprano last name in Jersey?
You guys probably can't.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, today. Excited to have you. If my screen looks a little cloudy and occasionally gets glitchy, we're having a big storm here in the DC area, so forgive me for that. I'd like to first thank one of our partners for this episode. I'd like to thank our partners at Acuity International. They solve some of the world and our government's toughest problems all around the world. And we've got a bunch of positions listed for them in Iraq and Somalia for like admin, logistics, security type roles. And we've got a lot of medical roles listed out in the Marshall Islands, Kwajalein Atoll, for resort style living, which I really loved hearing about from our retired Sergeant Major friend Lynn Cheek in one of our previous episodes. And I just spoke with John Vest, their Director of Talent Acquisition, and they're going to soon have some roles they expect in Ascension Island medical roles.
Ooh.
Have you ever heard of Ascension Island, Tara?
I have not. I don't know where that is.
I had not either until you told me. It is the Kwajalein of the Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
So it is a dot, and I looked it up, and take it for granted it's on Wikipedia where I got the information, but it's
verify
900 miles, I believe, from Africa, the coast of Africa, and 1,400 miles from the coast of South America.
Oh, wow.
It's a dot, and it's smaller than Kwajalein, I believe, but I think I would say probably similarly sized, but they have some roles there. They just got a contract, and I'm hoping we'll be able to support them to open it up. But I'm learning so much, and I'm excited that we're able to partner with a company that provides these opportunities around the world. So that's Acuity International. You can go to their page, or you can check out the roles on ours. So, Tara, we had some good topics before we get into the jobs.
Yeah.
For everyone here, if you're joining in, please, if you have a question, let us know. If you are job seeking, put the type of job you're seeking for and where.
Yes.
A lot of people from other companies, some recruiters will tune in. They may see it. It could create opportunity, and we may see something that can lead you to one of ours. But the topic of the day is a post I did this morning about 5 things that you need to fix on your resume. And I think it was, apropos, you said, because we were receiving a lot of inbox requests for support with resumes. Am I correct?
You are correct. We're getting a lot of messages about, I don't think my resume is getting noticed. What are things I can change on my resume and my LinkedIn profile so that I can be better suited for the jobs I'm applying for? So well-timed.
Awesome. So tip number 1, tell me what you did, not what your job was. And I'll turn it over to you in a second, Tara, but for me, this is similar to what we do in our evals throughout an entire career. Don't tell me what your job was. Tell me what you fixed, what the issue was, most importantly, what the results are. Is that right?
That is right. So we want to know what you were responsible for and the results. So if you were responsible for strategic partnerships that resulted in $20 million worth of sales, we want to see both of those things. So your responsibilities plus the results.
I love it. So number 2, keyword. This is a personal thing. Key skills, keyword lists with no backup data, meaning you just put a random list of keywords that may or may not be relevant to the job description. And there's nothing in your resume that says where you got it, how you used it, what the results are. It drives me nuts. It feels like, for me, it's people trying to game the system, like to beat the ATS. And the reality is, if you just see a keyword list and there's no place to see where you got it, recruiters are smart. Am I right on this?
Well, I think that you're right, but I think this is twofold. I think it means that people are half listening to us. So they are putting the keywords in their resume. Like we said, hey, if it's in the job post, it should be in your resume, but then they're not doing that extra step in backing up those keywords. Because if I put, famed astronaut, but then I don't have anything that backs up that I have any, responsibilities or results as being an astronaut, then I got to the recruiter who is now upset. So
or moving on to the next candidate.
moving on and thinking, wow, she did not
Yep.
read the job description. So you still have to back it up.
And my thing is if it's not prominently a word or like a skill, a certification, or experience prominently listed in the job description, it shouldn't be on the keyword list. And if you're going to list it on the keyword list, there should be at least one bullet that says when you've done it somewhere in your 2-page resume. So
yeah,
I don't think it's very difficult. Yeah.
I think the certifications as bullets are perfect because a lot of times, especially if they're requirements, the recruiter or hiring manager cannot move on without those. So make it clear. Yep. You want as least, there should be like no Where's Waldo in your resume. It should be really easy to find the requirements and needed qualifications.
Speaking of Where's Waldo, number 3 is excess content. I've actually seen resumes, I'm sure you have as well, where people have shrunk the margins, top, bottom, left, and right to fit more in and use smaller fonts to try to jam in more words on a 2-page resume. And it's like, you gotta, and all of it's irrelevant. Or like most of it's, you're hunting for the relevancy stuff that aligns with the job. So if you ever have to increase your margins or even think about going with a smaller font to fit more on, please do not. We want to focus on the relevant content. Am I right on that as far as the Where's Waldo piece?
Definitely. I think if you can't summarize your results and responsibilities with a couple of bullet points, then your statements are probably not clear enough. And certainly, maybe there's a few caveats. If you've had a same company with different roles over the course of a decade, you may need a little bit more space. But again, this is where I feel like people are not using technology. Like if you have 20 bullets that you need to pare down to 5, then I would encourage you to use some type of resume writer or AI to help pare down what you're saying. Because what you're saying is probably 1, maybe irrelevant, or 2, wordy. And that we can be more succinct and be more direct with less bullets instead of fluffing.
And I would also say you can ask your mentors to say which ones are relevant to this job. You could have 20 in your master resume, but you only need to list the other ones. So, and going back to the skill list and all that, like to me, soft skills should never be on a skill list because you can't, there's never going to be a bullet that aligns to that really, that's going to be relevant. Like, skilled communicator should not be like, okay. So, and then number 4 is not tailored. And I go back to the candidate that was a phlebotomist applying for a project manager or an HR manager role. And the title of the resume is phlebotomist. And I'll tell you, probably 50% of the resumes I take a look at are not tailored to a specific role. They're just whatever they had. And they're hoping that someone in the private sector can translate and figure out the fit. So I really want to make sure people say like that you tailor, like the resume should primarily speak to your ability to do this job. And then all the extra stuff can be the differentiator when you get to the interview.
That's where they're going to find out that you're a skilled communicator.
Well done. Yeah. And then the last thing is going to hurt a lot of commanders and senior enlisted advisors out there, but you can't take credit for things that your team did, right? That you are responsible for. It has to be things that you did. And so like giving you some examples is, let's say you're a commander or you're a command sergeant major, command master chief, chief master sergeant, sergeant major, whatever. Like, and a member of your like shop, your logistics supply shop, finds an issue, resolves it, and saves the government $4 million. Well, you can't put it on your resume or profile and take credit for it if you had nothing to do with it. And you can't say like, I empowered them, I led them, I told them to do things right. No, like if you list like save the government $4 million and I ask you, how did you do this? And you're like, well, my shop did X. You didn't do it. So it's got to be everything you put on your resume. You've got to be able to speak to, and you've got to be able to speak to your role, not your team's role. Does that make sense?
Something that you had a direct impact in, that without your contributions, the result would have been different. There's your qualifier.
I love it. I love it. So we've got some comments here. So we've got Mika.
Business
I think I
development.
pronounced that right. Looking for a BD role in NCR. Hopefully, Mika, you are going to Burbiz on Friday at the Hyatt Regency. You can search for Burbiz Tyson's. It's not at the MGM Grand now, and it's a free networking event. The social is from 5 to 7 p.m. For service members, veterans, military spouses in our community. So I would encourage that. We've got Bradley saying cybersecurity specialist, entry level security analyst, help desk. Can I tell you how much I appreciate that you focused on that secondary point? Entry level security analyst, help desk. A lot of people will say, "Well, I'm a cybersecurity engineer." No, not with a boot camp. So Bradley, well done there. Hopefully we get something there. We've got Catherine joining us again. Nice to see you, Catherine. We've got Thomas saying medical management, supply management in Orlando and the surrounding areas. Might be a good idea for you. I think Orlando right now has the Vets 25 conference. You can Google that. My friend and former mentor, William Roberts, is there for his company. The name's, it's going to kill me that I'm forgetting the name, but I don't want to butcher it. Significance, that's it. So he's there, but there's a lot of veteran-owned business there for the Vets 25 conference. You should go see if you can find it. Stop by there, Thomas. And then we've got Catherine saying what she just got a rejection email. You know, you could have been a perfect fit, and there could have been someone else that was just a little bit better. It happens. So glad you got around the process. Jeremy, Quality Assurance, Hampton Roads. And then Catherine, how you get a mentor is American Corporate Partners. That's my best for anyone in our community, acp-usa.org. And they'll provide you a mentor from a Fortune 500 company. And then we've got Catherine saying, yep, there you go. Broken sterilizer. See, so it's a good bullet. So perfect. All right. Well, we've got one more topic for later, but this is called Hot Jobs. And so, Tara, I'm going to turn it over to you for some hot jobs to share.
Sure. So I'm going to start with our partners at Heritage. We know and love them. I know we talk about them a lot. But I'm going to be speaking about two of their roles. So they have both SkillBridge and full-time opportunities. So whatever boat you might be in, if you're seeking a SkillBridge or a full-time role, Heritage Roofing and Construction has something for you. And so we're looking for account managers, and these are in the Central Texas area. Account managers will kind of have their own territory and be looking to build a client base for any roofing and just maybe destruction from like a storm. So you are going out there, you're building a client base within your community, and you essentially are an account project manager. And in speaking with Crystal at Heritage, one of the things that she said that I think really might resonate with this community is that people who are most successful in this role have some type of project or people management experience. They are people who are used to deadlines, can manage multiple kind of claims tasks at one time, who are really time efficient. So Heritage might be for you. Again, in the Central Texas area, both SkillBridge and direct hire. You do need to have a valid driver's license. You do also need to be able to lift about 50 pounds and be able to get up on a roof. But what's also really cool about Heritage is that they will train you. They will train you on their proprietary system that is just theirs for roofing, and they will teach you everything you need to know. So really cool opportunity, lots of growth available at Heritage. So Central Texas area, both SkillBridge and direct hire.
And lots of earning potential.
Lots of earning potential. Flexible schedule. Make your own schedule. Yeah.
I remember hearing our CEO Nick's story about the hail event, and like one guy went through his little neighborhood and got like 11 out of 12 houses and gets a commission for each one of those.
Yeah.
He made bank in like probably 4 to 6 weeks of work managing the doing the inspections, filing the paperwork. And I don't even want, I'm thinking insane amounts of money that person made. And that he knew they all needed work done on the roofs because there was a major hail event. So I can't be high enough on these roles.
Agree. I think especially if you have the ability to talk to people and relate to people. We had something similar happen in our development, and we had tons of people come over. And honestly, we picked the one, the person who was the nicest, who followed up the most, who was just like a reasonable person to talk to, who didn't feel like they were pushing, but just giving us the information. So that happened here, and happy to report.
Yep. And so we have Eddie asking if SkillBridge can be done if ETSing from overseas. And the answer is yes. If your command supports it and you schedule your timing, you can come back early and do it. There's potential to do some that are remote as well. But yes, you can absolutely. We've had people do it from Okinawa. We've had people do it from Europe. You can absolutely do it if it's done overseas. And if there's one that we mentioned that you're interested in, you can always reach out and connect to Tara.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And then
you have another one?
So I actually have late breaking news. This will be even the first time you hear it, Mike, is that we have some new roles for SkillBridge that are with our friends, customer.io. So we are very excited to have them on board. Literally right before we hit record, they sent me a preview of some of the jobs. So I'm still going through them, but I want to tell you all first, heard it first. This is the hottest job, right? This is the hottest job. It just came in. So there are going to be SkillBridge roles in a number of areas, but so far I have business development and marketing. So these will be remote, that we know. I'm going through the job descriptions. They look awesome. Big kudos to the team at customer.io. I have a couple of follow-up questions for the team, and then they are going to be posted on our website. I think the latest by the end of the week. So if you are interested in a SkillBridge opportunity that is remote, in either, again, we're going to have more than these two roles, but these are the ones I have right now. They are in the business development and marketing is what I have currently. There are going to be 4 more roles with customer.io coming shortly. These are the 2 I have right before we started. So I wanted to be able to share with the people who tuned in. And remember, they're going to be on our website shortly. So stay tuned for all of the details on that.
And we've worked with the leadership from customer.io for years with some of them that have been in other companies, and they've always done well by our interns. I think when you say they're remote, that means the internship's remote and the job is also remote.
Yes.
Right? So they have headcount assigned to every one of these roles. And so if you get the internship, then you get, and you do well, you get a remote job doing that as well.
And I have to say, their full-time benefits are some of the best I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
I read them and I thought, this is what companies should be doing to support their employees. So really great benefits on the other side for a full-time opportunity.
I love it. So we've got a couple other quick ones. We've got one that, Jared Young says, I'm looking for a role in operations. I have expertise in joint staff operations planning, exercise war game planning, and interagency coordination. So what I will challenge you is that those roles, when you say operations, that is military operations. What you describe here is not typically manufacturing or industry operations. And so what I would encourage you, Jared, is to reach out to people, veterans that do operations in Amazon and all the other FedEx and all the other big companies, and talk to them about what they do and how you could maybe align that and find that skill set a little bit better. And then it's already on there. So I have an opportunity also to share, one that I share weekly because I'm so big on them, and that is our friends at DLA Finance. I know the deputy CFO for DLA, Sean Lennon, just posted an article about how they're creating a culture that goes from inefficiency to innovation. And there's talking about using all of these tech tools, AI and everything else, to kind of automate the financial management process for this massive defense logistics agency. So again, I'm so big on the leadership and culture they've created there. Now, there are jobs listed and there are SkillBridge opportunities listed. SkillBridge, we can put you in right now if you meet the criteria. It's flexible timelines. The locations are listed. They're going to be on site. So we can work SkillBridge whenever you're ready. If you get selected, apply right away. For the jobs, there is a federal hiring freeze until July 15th right now. And unless that changes, they're not accepting the resumes to process them for direct hire or rapid hiring authority. However, we are accepting them here. We are racking and stacking them. We are getting them ready to go. And they are excited about the moment that they get authority to hire. We're going to hit send, boom, and we're going to work with them to get these people, get everybody screened and into the process. And they are already adept at using rapid or direct hiring authority to get people processed through from our community: veterans, service members, military spouses. So you could apply to direct hire, you could apply to SkillBridge, and we'll take those in two different directions. So the opportunities are accountant systems. They require 24 hours of a bachelor's degree and at least 24 hours of accounting business law. We've got business analyst, financial analyst, and financial liaisons. They do not require degrees. A degree could help a lot. And the GS level that they will lead to will be at the level equivalent to your experience and education, right? Just typical GS scale. Those opportunities, all of them are listed in Battle Creek, Michigan, where our buddy Brad is finishing up this month and has really enjoyed his time there. Brad Theroff. We've got Columbus, Ohio, Whitehall. Again, another fantastic location with a great population nearby. We've got New Cumberland, PA, which is a fantastic location. We've got the place where the Dallas Cowboys are going to play the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles on the very first game of the season, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's crush those Cowboys. Then we've got Richmond, Virginia, has a very large presence down there, not too far from Lang, Eustis, Hampton Roads, and the DC area. And then Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Those are the major locations. There is a very small office in San Antonio that is only for people that have accounts receivable experience. But if you have accounts receivable experience and you're interested in a SkillBridge internship or direct hire, and it's on your resume, please submit it. All of these are listed on HireMilitary.us, and they create a great opportunity. Okay, so we've got one other topic to share before we close this up today, and this is another one that gets me with a lot of the outreach that our team has been handling and a lot of what I get on LinkedIn, and that is, what is the ask?
Yeah.
You're transitioning, you're getting out for help. I really want you to think, what is your ask? Like, what are you specifically asking the other person, the other organization, the other company to do for you? And I want you to think about that before you submit anything. And I think you had some good insights on this, right, Tara?
Yeah, so a lot of times when people reach out to us, either via social media, that might be LinkedIn or email, they say something really vague, like, I need help finding a job, but I don't know where. I don't know how to action that without more details. So I think if you were to start at the end, what do you want the end result to be? Is it someone looking at your resume? Is it finding a mentor? Is it finding a job opportunity? Is it being connected with someone in a certain industry? Like, whatever you think the end result should be, then that needs to be a part of your question. So I actually had someone do an excellent job this morning saying, I have done X, Y, and Z steps. I am not getting to a final interview. Do you have a suggestion on how I could get to a final interview based on this, the steps I've already taken? And it's like, perfect. Yes, they've already had the resume writer. They've already tuned into a class online. So what are some other things? We mentioned American Corporate Partners was one of my suggestions. So what is the ask? What are you asking the person to actually action? Because if I don't know, I cannot help you.
Yeah, I would add Candorful as a nonprofit that helps
Great.
service members, veterans, military spouses with mock interviews. That's another resource that could have been good for them. Canderful.
Great idea.
So that's another one that'll help with that. And then the same thing, like when I worked with Onward to Opportunity and Hire Here's USA, they connected me with some of their volunteers to do mock interviews with.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of resources out there. Make the specific ask. My like button pusher is someone sends me the resume and say, can you let me know if you have any jobs that match my skill sets? And I'm like, think about what you're asking. You're asking me to open up a document from somebody I don't know, which is already not usually going to happen. But then you're asking me to read your resume, figure out what you want to do, what you're qualified to do, go look on a careers page, ours or somebody else's, find some that I think could be a fit, and then send them back to you and say, like, hey, does this work? And that's not going to happen. Or hey, I just hit submit on my retirement. You know, what do I need to do to find a job? Like, there's no answer to that question that's going to happen in less than 30 seconds. We're probably going to move on. I'd rather you start off with small questions that are direct, that do not take a lot of effort on our hand, off of us. Let people give you the answer. You action it. Ask another small question. It's like breadcrumbs to a relationship. Like when we find out that you respectful of our time, that you follow our advice, that you implement it, you're willing to put in the work. That's how you turn strangers into mentors and sponsors, not with nebulous, what do I need to do? And so great job there, Tara. Thank you so much. And I think we've got a couple other things here. So we've got Gabriel saying, hey there. Thanks for joining us, Conrad. I think that's LOL, probably for people asking. And then we've got Leonora saying these are great tip. And I'm going to get back because I don't touch anything. I didn't read it, so I don't touch anything political. So sorry to hear that you're having some hard times. So any contacts in the field of combating human trafficking in North Florida area? I think there could be a lot of opportunities. What I would tell you is, if you don't know where to find them, Joshua, is to attend my Mastering LinkedIn webinar on Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. And I will walk you through step-by-step how to set up your profile and how to do advanced searches, which is the most important part of this, to kind of get your community. You can find people that work in human trafficking in your area that are veterans and reach out and build those relationships. And then I see Kevin saying 020 tomorrow for PMP. I would not put PMP student on your resume. I don't think it really helps in any way, shape, or form. And if you accept a role that's not PMP, they're going to think that you're going to leave when you get it. I would just knock it out. It's not a very long course, and then add it when you have it. So, all right. With that, almost exactly at 30 minutes, I just want to say thank you to our partners at CNC Boiler. If you stayed this long, I think you'd appreciate CNC Boiler. They are a family-owned business in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. We've spoken with many members of their team. In fact, I've got one of their veterans that just joined their team about 8 months ago, Darius, joining me next Thursday for my office hours session at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to learn a little more about what he does and why he loves being a member. So we do have roles with CNC Boiler. They train you for everything, for service and sales. And we encourage you to check them out at HireMilitary.us. And with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. And fly, what is it again? Fly what? Fly. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Can't see my whole arm, but I'm doing it.
There you go. See you all next week.
Bye, everyone.